Is Felger and Mazz your favorite afternoon show?
Yes.
Felger and Mazz.
What is numerology? How does that work with these?
Numerology is like a combination of your numbers, like your birthday. You know, each letter in your name adds up to a certain number. And, you know, numerology is a lot more telling, I think, than anything else because numbers don't lie. And we got a bunch of analytics guys here, which frustrates me at times. But, you know, numerology definitely is very telling.
But did you hear what he threw in there?
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
About the analytics guys.
You hear what he did? He took a shot at his
We got a bunch of analytics guys here, which frustrates me at times. But
see, in the middle of all that poppycock, I got a nugget. And the nugget is, yeah, these freaking dweebs keep telling me to step back behind that line and take that stupid shot, but I stuff them in the locker and give them a noogie and, you know, twist, undies, when you twist the undies up?
Wedgie.
Give them a wedgie, thank you, and tell them to stuff it. I'm the year of the rooster, man. No, but he took a little shot at his analytics team there. So in the process of saying it's all about numbers and the numbers don't lie, his numbers, these celestial, these... This nonsense, this numerology nonsense. He believes in that. But thank God he doesn't listen to the nerds upstairs who tell him to step back and shoot the three.
Because their numbers are crap.
And
those
good,
numbers
because they
suck.
would want him shooting 11 like Tatum did last night. And to him, he's saying, F these geeks. I'm going to play how I want to play. As he should. He's
All right,
better the way he's been playing.
To your phones, and Tears was on duos, all-time duos. I know you all want to weigh in on that. Mark on or in Jamaica playing. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, kid. There was this movie in 1979, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
That's how I know Pisces. I know Pisces from The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. They were the Pittsburgh Pisces. I remember this movie very well. I love it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, he's, I don't know what he's doing, but I've had two
the fish that saved
partners
Pittsburgh.
in my life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Yeah. So I've had two partners in my life who are really into astrology and like totally into it, and it's just like trying to like groove with it, but I was just like, it just didn't make sense to me.
I thought, Mark, you might be.
I'm surprised he's not
Mark's
into it.
not into it.
Yeah.
No, he felt like he was kind of into it.
MIT, Harvard, offered a NASA fellowship. What did I read here? He was offered an internship with NASA. Youngest person ever to hold a lecture at Harvard. He was in the middle of a robotics class when he learned that he signed his contract. He was named an MIT Media Lab fellow and has since collaborated with the university to create the Bridge program. Big, important program. Through his work with MIT and his foundation, he's taken a strong interest in tackling education and income inequality. Big, important, serious things. But you're the year of the rooster, so it's different. His life path numbers is 6. It just cuts into my sort of like, really?
It's all predetermined if you're a 6.
Howard and Randolph, addition to Tears, go.
Yeah, I got two. I got one obscure one. John Hanna and Leon Gray.
Good one.
And what about Yaz and Louis Tiant?
No.
But they joined it. I mean, just because you played together, this is what people need to get a little bit. Just because two good players played together doesn't mean they were a duo. You should see all the angry old Bruins fans about or Espo. They were just two great players who played together.
Correct.
Where they
it's like saying, Gretzky and Curry. Although, were they on the same line?
Fred Lynn, Jim Rice broke in together, vied for the Rookie of the Year together, right? Mm-hmm. MVP races together. They were named the Gold Dust Twins. That's a duo. Manny Ortiz hit next to each other in the lineup for how long?
One left-handed, one right-handed.
And we're just joined at the hip in the middle of that lineup, that championship-winning lineup.
Pieces that mesh together.
For half a dozen years, if not more.
Not the poster you looked at as a child or a young sports fan that had those two players on it. You had it in your bedroom. No, ignore that.
No. What two players?
Well, Nomar and Pedro.
Okay, you didn't say that just now.
Yeah. Or how about, if you had to think of the 80s Mets, what two players come to mind?
The two players that come to mind for me are Strawberry.
Thank you. That's your duo. But because they weren't actually, one's a pitcher, one's a...
No, but Strawberry and Goodnight can get. They both came up like as prospects together. And who's the one you said?
Why doesn't Pedro and Nomar then work for you?
Because they weren't homegrown.
Pedro
together.
was added on. Well, Nomar wasn't he?
Yeah, but they weren't. But they didn't come up through the minors together.
Right, exactly.
So, no. I think that's different. I do, Murray. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds as crazy as numerology to you, apparently. But I do not look at those two as being, they were centerpieces, but they weren't linked.
There's also a feel.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how to describe it. Joey in Kingston. Yes, Joey.
So that's some fascinating stuff I just listened to for the half hour, but I guess to each their own. So with that said, I now have got two duels for you, Mike.
Go.
So in the cuckoo cosmic world, I've got Daryl Martini and Nostradamus, and in the real life,
I'm going to let you go. Get your own show. Will is in the car. Go ahead, Will. Will. My God.
Car wash.
What was that?
Bob in Peabody. Go, Bob.
It's outdated, but somebody just mentioned I put Yaz and Rico Petrocelli as a pair.
Well, that's
67, Mazz's birth year.
That's closer.
Year of the cock. Go ahead.
That's closer, but still no. Yaz.
I don't remember that.
No, Yaz is sort of his own entity.
Do you want old time? We had a caller who did the Boston Braves. Warren Spahn and Johnny Sain. Spahn and Sain and Pray for Rain. They backed it, and then they went to Milwaukee and did the same thing. They back to back in the rotation for years. They had a nickname. That's a duo. It's not just that they played together. John and Canton, go.
Yeah, thanks for picking up. That the previous caller stole my thunder with the Hannah and Leon Gray.
Decent one.
That's not bad. Yeah,
they played on the offensive line together. They held out together,
and they were both on the left side.
Yeah, I think that's a little closer to the bone.
Yeah, they were both on the left side. Hannah got kept. Gray ended up getting traded, and that was kind of the beginning of the end for that team.
Johnny in the truck on the astrology business. Go ahead, John.
I think you guys missed the button on this one. It's astrology, not numerology. I don't even know what numerology is.
Well, neither do I. But he said that last cut. He told you the numerology is more important than anything
because the numbers don't lie.
This concocted numerology thing. Like you might. I tried. I'm fair. If you want to tell me, and an email just reminded me too. I wrote this down too this morning. You know where the term lunacy comes from?
The moon.
Lunar. It's that because people have long thought. Because the moon controls the tides on Earth, that if it controls the bodies of water on the Earth, does it control the water in your body?
Fluid. Yep.
And if there's just a slight little change in your body composition, does that get you to act differently? Or does that make a tangible, actual scientific difference?
Maybe.
So if the moon does that, do the nearby planets do that? If a planet's in retrograde, the planets that are nearby, Mars and Mercury and blah, blah, blah. If they're farther or closer, does that just imperceptible? Can you make a scientific-based case that just does a little something, something ever to you, and just that one little molecule difference
alters your composition ever so slightly,
and makes you what you are versus what that guy is? And if you can match the two, or you know what I mean?
I mean. Look, I understand the theory. I understand the concept of the theory that it can.
Is that what you people believe, or is it those of you who believe in astrology and astronomy, or not astronomy, numerology, and all this? Is that what you believe? That the actual physical
change,
the physical placement of the planets and all that changes how you would act based on body composition,
right?
Or is it something different than that?
No, they can throw you out of balance is the point.
I mean, I don't have a problem with believing in God. That's cool.
Has a defense attorney ever tried to use this kind of excuse?
I don't know.
I'd love to know.
I'm sure, Murray.
But if that's what you're saying, that there's a higher power that lines up all the planets a certain way and it's all related. Okay, well, that's a real, that's a belief. I guess. But I don't know. Manage your team like that? Crazy. Or build your team like that?
I mean, I wouldn't manage my team like that, but if you're telling me that the planets and things like that can alter the balance of your makeup.
Jordan in Foxborough, go.
Maybe.
How you doing? Hey, listen, you're a rooster, so you're very combative, whether your hands or your mouth. Give me 1 second here, please. Patrick Surtain, born Year of the Dragon, won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, Year of the Dragon, plus 30,000 odds. Patriots, founded in 1960, Year of the Pig. Enemy year, the Snake. They just lost to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Kobe Bean Bryant, born Year of the Horse, died. His enemy year, Year of the Rat. Rick Carlisle.
Okay, Jimmy, what did you tell me you placed a bet based on this and you hit recently?
Super Bowl with the Eagles, Cooper DeJean. It was his birthday, and he wore number 33. So numerology, 33 is a master number. I bet him to have an interception, and he got an interception. I won money.
Or he's just a really good player, and he's a heady defensive back. And
So
made
look,
a good pick, and Mahomes
Jimmy,
played like ass.
So what do you believe that's based on? The stars, the planets lining up a certain way, or God, for lack of a better term?
So I believe in God personally. I think that there might be some other code that maybe you can crack. I don't know. I only know it on the outside from what people have told me and kind of picked up some knowledge that way. But you can align numbers with your life year and your life path, and it can mix, and it could do something like betting somebody to have an interception on their birthday with the master number.
I love how people base their life on this and huge life decisions. We're just worried about winning the bet.
Plus, as the caller said, plus 30,000.
Hitting the player prop.
There's a bunch of those things. There are a bunch of those things where certain things like Apple is founded on a certain day. It's like a 28 day and a year that mathematically goes to 28, and that's been a successful corporation. There are things like that in the world.
John and Quincy, go.
I know I'm a kook.
Okay, so what's up, you lunatics? So anyway, there's a test. It's a psychological evaluation. I learned this years ago. It's called the Enneagram. Don't ask me on the spelling, but there's a scale. It goes 1 through 9, and where you place, obviously, your number reflects. It sounds like Brown is using that to kind of, bring everybody together, which makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Play Brown number 2 there, Jimmy, if you could again, please. This makes perfect sense to me. Go ahead.
Did you make flashcards?
No, I memorized Mimi's. He's Year of the Rabbit. I mean, so his communication is different from D. White. D. White's Year of the Dog, so his communication style is different. Hugo's also a dog. Peyton's is a tiger. JT's a tiger. Ron is a dragon. Joe's a dragon. Nicolo, he's new to our team. He's Year of the Horse. This Year of the Horse right now. This is the Year of the Horse. Each of those have different communication styles, and you can go into numerology as well. Sam is a 5. I'm a 5. So different breakdowns, and then you can also go into star signs.
Yeah,
there were times in my single days that I would put up with this kind of nonsense because you're dating someone and this ditz starts talking like this. And it's okay. In my mind, I'm I'm willing to put up with X amount of crap until I get
as long as you take your clothes
as long as I get to do you at some point.
Yes, right, exactly.
But there's
all
always
about the sex.
There's going to be a limit.
All gets back to the sex.
It's as long as you're taking your pants off, you can go on whatever you want.
Seriously.
Go ahead.
This is why it's better to be alone.
But that's about it. That's the only time I've ever heard this kind of nonsense. And
supposedly Hulk Hogan died last year in his enemy year.
Okay, but does that mean everybody dies in their enemy year?
No, not necessarily.
Would
but you might
be
have
a
relative who dies in their enemy year.
This stuff is really real. There'd be a lot more,
right, the patterns would
predict
hold.
a lot more stuff.
Right, the patterns would hold. So this is, I think all of this stuff is so, it's cleverly worded, and the parameters are clever so
it's
that
a shell game,
right? So that you fit in some capacity somehow. It's like Nostradamus. He says some
it's
sort
a parlor trick,
right? You can apply it to just about any situation, and you can find some sort of compatibility there.
Jaylen Brown, born on a 24 day, he won the Finals MVP 2024.
I did look up the Enneagram.
Okay,
it is a 9-pointed personality system. Okay, so it's basically 9 different personalities. For example, type 1, the reformer/perfectionist. Principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and perfectionistic. Type number 5.
I got it.
Yeah,
I could have given you this. I could come up with 9 different personalities, and we'll call it the Mazzogram.
Here's a word from our sponsors, and we're right back. I want to get to the gossip first.
Everything you said is right.
Felger and Mazz, the Sports Zone.
What's this? The fish called Pittsburgh?
The fish that saved Pittsburgh. It was a fun basketball movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
The fish that saved Pittsburgh. They were the Pittsburgh Pisces. They were going out of business. They were floundering. What am I trying to say?
Floundering.
Yeah, floundering. You got it right.
Failing NBA team. They changed their name to the Pittsburgh Pisces and went on a roll. When they got into all the astrology stuff. Fish that saved Pittsburgh.
I know. I was a kid. I don't remember. What year was the movie?
I guess it's 1979. Anyway, Mazz.
Mike.
You know what's a week from today?
What is a week from today?
Oh
Yeah,
God,
I do know, of course.
Of all people.
Opening day, yes.
Of all people.
Well, I had to think about the question. Yes, it's opening day.
Opening day. Have we? Thank you, Terry. Have they narrowed down who's going to be on the team and who's not? For example, Peyton Tolley has been mowing people down.
He has, as has Quinn.
Connolly Early.
They've both been just destroying. Tolley just mowed him down a couple days ago. They both had a tremendous spring. Am I going to see them on the Boston Red Sox or the Worcester Woo Sox or whatever they call them?
That would be the Woo Sox.
They're going to go to Worcester.
Of course they are.
Why?
Because of service time. That's why. Because and I'm going by the Chris Cotillo story early in camp, but I think the Red Sox are going to stick to that, which is that the Red Sox are going to keep them both down there for basically half the season, so that neither one of them can finish this year with more than a year of service time. In fact, it'll be the opposite. Each will finish with less than 1 year of service time, so that starting next year, the Red Sox can keep them for 6 years.
How should we feel about that?
You should be pissed. You should be pissed. And the reason you should be pissed is that it should be about, playing the season with the best 25, 26 every year and start there and go no matter what. The goal should be to win the championship and play for that season every single year. Now, look, I've covered baseball a long time. This is hardly the most egregious thing I've seen. I've seen much, I don't want to say much worse, but lots of occasions where guys who should have made teams didn't because, well, that guy has options and we can bring him up later so we can bring him back and forth. There's all types of stupid stuff that factors in. But in this case, it's a monetary decision. The Red Sox want to keep these guys for an extra year of service, so they're going to, they're going to work the system and not break camp with them, and you're going to get Oviedo instead to start the year.
This baseball chatter is teeing it up with Mazz, brought to you by Bigelow Tea, official hot tea of the Boston Red Sox, and a proud sponsor of the Baseball Hour with Mazz, which begins
next Wednesday.
Wednesday of next week.
The 25th, yep.
Bigelow. Grab a mug and tea proudly. So that's frustrating that these two kids have pitched well, have every reason that they should be with the big club at the bottom of the rotation, working in your next young wave of young arms, which this is a franchise you've just been so woefully neglectful of and haven't done in forever, and now you've got it. But they're going to have to wait because you're worried about them becoming free agents in 2034 or 2035.
Right, exactly.
It's just gross.
Yeah, so they'll start with 6 years. The clock will start in 6 years beginning in 2027. So, at the end of 2032, they'll be free agents. And you get to keep them for that 2032 season instead of being done in 2031. It is that right there is like the Tampa Bay Rays, Kansas City Royals, like Minnesota Twins model. And some of those are mid-market teams, but you get the idea. The Brewers, I'm sure, do it that way a lot.
Hell yeah, of course.
So, but to see it from a big-market team is,
gross,
annoying. Yes.
Meanwhile, they've announced that Caleb Durbin, speaking of the Brewers, will be the opening day third baseman. However, they have not made the same commitment at second base with Marcelo Meyer. Alex Cora, quote, he's playing well. He's playing really well. And obviously we have a decision. And obviously we have to make a decision. We haven't made that decision, but so far he's been checking all the boxes. Well, how come they're not just announcing he's the guy?
Because they're busting his balls
still
right down to the last.
There's a week
day.
to go. Haven't they been doing that for like a month?
Yes.
So why are they still doing this?
Well, and I'll tell you the other thing too is that, everybody says, well, I think they break camp on Tuesday. Their last game in Florida is on Tuesday, I believe, and then they hop on the plane and they go to Cincinnati. They'll work out Wednesday. They'll play on Thursday. Okay, it's a day game, obviously, on opening day. But everyone thinks that they'll wait until the last day to, or people have thought in the past they'll make the decision right at the end of camp. They don't. They make it with about a week to go. Because guys need to pack up their stuff, knowing where they're going. You can't tell the guy on Monday that you're coming with us to Cincinnati tomorrow, because if he's going to Worcester, he's got to send all his stuff to Boston.
Got it.
All right, so all that stuff has to take place ahead of time. My guess is, in Meyer's case, maybe they haven't told him and they're stringing him along. But my guess is they've told the large majority of people, and they've told Meyer, and they told him to keep his mouth shut. Or they haven't, and they're breaking his balls right to the very end.
It didn't really sound like it.
Well, he might be lying, but I doubt it.
Here's what Meyer said, as chronicled by Chris Cotillo of Mass Live. Quote, "I feel good," said Meyer. "I feel like I've done a good job. The way I've been approaching the game and the way I've been taking my ABs, the approach I've had, I feel like I'm in a really good spot to start the season strong. Those decisions aren't really up to me. I feel like I've done a really good job with what I've needed to do this spring. I just go out there and play as hard as I can. Wherever the chips fall, they fall. I'm excited for the season. Hopefully that's in Cincinnati. If not, I think I'll help the team down the road whenever it is." It doesn't sound, again, I couldn't hear him, so you think he could be lying? I don't know. I feel like he's just answering the question.
No, my guess is with Meyer, they haven't told him yet, and it'll probably be this weekend. That would be my guess. I mean, today's Thursday, so tomorrow or Saturday, they let him know. He packs up his stuff and sends wherever he needs to send back to the Boston area, and the rest of it goes out to Cincinnati. So my guess is that's what's going to happen, and I don't think he's going to play every day. I think you're going to see him sit against lefties.
Yep.
And in the bits that I've seen, I would agree that for the most part, he's looked pretty good. Defensively, he's looked terrific. Offensively, he looks like he's got a little bit more discipline at the plate. There are still some things I think he needs to improve upon, but overall, he should make the team. If he doesn't, that's brutal.
Back to your phones on everything after Big Jim Murray gets you updated here.
Now, more of Felger and Mazz. Now, on the Sports Hub.
As inspired by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, obviously, and we've gotten into Jaylen Brown's leadership style based around numerology and the Chinese zodiac as well. Mike in Woburn has a thought on that. Go ahead, Mike.
So the lunar cycle thing is more of concern with circadian rhythms, Mike. It's more with the light and how you sleep. And statistically, people sleep less during full moon cycles.
Okay, but the point is there's an actual physical reaction to the location of the moon. So there's a
right. So there's a reaction to the moon.
Right.
It affects how you sleep.
Right.
People you get more irritable with less sleep and whatnot. And yeah, but I'm all for the Felger and Mazz visit the X-Files thing, if you guys want to do this, because I was honestly very disappointed that you didn't speak once in the last couple months about 3-Eye Atlas, that asteroid that went around the moon, the sun, that everybody thought was like from an alien planet. I thought that was right up your alley. I honestly, maybe you guys need to do like a remote show from like the Bridgewater Triangle or something.
I'll get back. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I'll get the Bridgewater Triangle. The real thing, by the way. I'll get back to the asteroids and all that stuff at some point. No, this is different. I am legitimately, honestly, intellectually curious why people who believe in astrology believe that because this planet is there and that planet is here, thus creates something here with you on Earth. Is it an actual physical reaction to the placements and the gravitational pulls, or what? Like, I'm honestly curious about that because again.
I mean, I'd love to hear it. I'm not going to tell you. But my guess is that has something to do with what you just said, that there are certain pushes and pulls and that it can affect, the theory is that it affects your, balance.
I don't discount anything. I don't have the answer, the big answer to life. I don't know what it is. I believe there is one. So you might have it. You might not have it. It might be this. I don't know. But you got to explain it to me a little bit. Gray in South Carolina on the tiers. Yes, Gray.
I got Hideki Okajima and Jonathan Papelbon in 07. And then for the suck tiers, I got Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. And then Bailey Zappi and Mike Jones.
Worst duos is a good one.
That is a good one.
Zappi and Jones is a pretty good one.
Patricia and Judge is a good one.
That's a great one.
Mayo and Wolf is a good one.
Another good one. What was the first thing he said?
For the tiers was, I can't remember. Oh, Okajima and Papelbon.
No.
People barely remember it.
No.
Stop it. If you want to go Mendoza and, well, I'm blanking on the closer in New York.
Rivera.
Rivera, right.
Rivera Wetland.
Wetland, yeah, that one.
Was it Wetland or was it, no, was it Mendoza, like his big setup guy for years and years and years, and then he came here, but Mendoza set up.
Sucked.
Mendoza set up Mo Rivera for a long time in New York, didn't he?
Yeah, not a long time. He was a swing man, sometimes spot starter. But the big one, I would agree.
It was Wetland?
Wetland, Rivera, they were two closers. Rivera was the setup man on that team, and then they got rid of him, whatever.
It's New York. We're just worried about Boston anyway. John in the car. Yes, John.
Michael, I know I'm not your favorite person. I made my bed. That's fine. But no more Zodiac talk, please.
Why would you say you're not my favorite person? I have no problem with John.
No, me neither.
Why would you say that Why would you say you're not my favorite person?
Am I really your favorite person? Am I wrong?
I didn't say you were my favorite, but you're not my least favorite.
Well, then I'm not. But please, no more Zodiac talk. You're going to make me throw myself down an elevator shaft. It's painful. I just like to read when I go to the restaurant and the year of the snake, and you see all the famous snakes, and that's interesting.
Crab Rangoon.
But exactly, Mike. I don't know if you said it or not. If you did, I apologize. And I'm biased, but Andy Mogan, Reggie Lemelin,
we had it. Banned for life.
You are now my least favorite person.
So you can call the baseball hour, though.
Banned for life. That's another.
The penalties have got to be severe.
This is another thing about
fine
tiers.
Any fan $5,000 per person.
If you didn't hear the segment, sit out the conversation.
2 nights in jail.
Throw them out of the building.
When I say sit out the conversation, you speaking in the conversation. If you didn't hear the segment, just listen. Just keep listening.
Force them to spend 2 nights in jail.
If you did hear the segment and you know who was on the tiers and who wasn't and what was discussed, then you may enter the conversation and add your 2 cents. But just you calling up and saying, how about so-and-so after we talked about it is a waste of all of our time. John, you are now banned from the program.
And never be admitted into a building to watch a sporting event again.
Force them to spend 2 nights in jail, and they're never going to be able to go to a sporting event in Boston ever again.
RJ in New Bedford. Go ahead, RJ.
All right. So I can't believe that I actually had to listen through that and wait. But listen, you guys rock.
If you think I'm done with the numerology talk, you are sorely mistaken, sirs and ma'ams. Sorely mistaken. Go ahead, RJ. Continue.
Yeah, so, listen, you missed the most polarizing duel ever in New England. You got Jim McNally and John Yastrzemski.
Good one.
Good one.
Great one. What's polarizing about it? They were taking air out of the balls.
Excellent. McNally and Yastrzemski.
Yeah, what's the other side of that?
Better than Petrocelli and Yastrzemski.
Good one. Absolutely good one. Birdman and Dorito Dink, as they were also known by. Danny in the car. Hi, Dan.
Hey, good evening, guys. So volume back and forth here. Lots to talk about. That being said, Tony, I'm leaning towards your side of I don't care how much you spend. To think of Tolley and Early being sent out west to the hills of Worcester is absurd. I would say that they should be on the team, years of service, if
Danny,
they earn their way on the team.
100%. Yeah, not just that. It's like you've got a good thing here where you've got established major league high-end players, if not stars. You are a contending team that's expected to contend, and you've got some good youth coming up and room on the roster to fit them on the bottom of the roster to start working their way up through the team. And, so like it's ideally suited for you to start Peyton Tolley as the number 5 starter as opposed to Oviedo, yeah. That's just ridiculous. And I would say again, Mazz, I know I'm preaching to the choir. It's one thing if you don't want to sign Juan Soto or, some $300 million free agent. Like, even as a big market, I get it. Those contracts generally don't work out. But to dick around with 6 or 7 years of service time,
I'm with you.
That is particularly rinky-dink. That is some cheap-ass small market stuff. You don't want to sign Garrett Cole for $250 million. I got it. But now you don't want to pitch Peyton Tolley because he might become a free agent in 2034 versus 2035. That's a joke. Sorry.
Yeah, listen.
There's a difference there.
You're not going to get any argument from me. It's a small market move. It's as small as it gets. Because teams in the small markets literally have to try to control every day of service. They don't have a choice. They can't pay free agents. I get it. And even then, I don't like it, by the way, because I like to think that when you pitch to a level that you warrant being in the big leagues, you should be promoted to the big leagues. So there are so many rules that baseball has that I don't like when it comes to the business of the game. But, and here's the other part. Early has pitched 17 innings this spring. As you've noted, and many have noted, he started a winner-take-all playoff game last fall.
But now he can't pitch against the suck-ass Cincinnati Reds in April?
Right, and it would be one thing if he came in and got his face ripped off. He's pitched 17 innings. He has a 1.59 ERA. He hasn't given up a home run. He struck out 16 and walked 5. And Toley's numbers are nearly every bit as good. It's fewer innings, but I'm sure he pitched in a minor league game or something. Now, look, Oviedo also had a good spring. Okay, that's great. All well and good. But, you didn't even need Oviedo. They traded for Oviedo so that they could stick these guys in the minors.
That's how freaking horned up they were to keep their service time down. They traded for this journeyman just so they could send him to Worcester.
Yep.
I mean, goodness, that is appalling. Sorry. Coming up next, the widely demanded, backed by popular demand, 5 questions that have nothing to do with sports.
Whoa!
We've given you some non-sports talk today. Here's more featuring Murray coming your way in our long commercial-free segment next. We'll back to the phones for the 5 o'clock hour, Mazz, unless you have a fresh thought for us.
God, no.
Felger and Mazz, 98.5 Sports Hub.
I got 5 questions for
Mike Felger and Tony Mazz.
I got 5 questions that got nothing to do with sports. I got 5 questions. 5! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 questions. I hope this segment ain't too wild.
Still looking for sponsorships. Hint, hint.
Every other inch of this program is sponsored. We're like a NASCAR.
And this was.
Every other utterance out of Mazz's mouth is sponsored by something.
We're still looking for a good proctologist, by the way.
That one there, maybe that's the other one little bit of NASCAR space still available. What goes up Mazz's ass, brought to you by Boston Proctology. But no, 5 questions that have nothing to do about sports. Sponsorships are available. I'm sorry, Jim.
All right, so question number 1. How many days in a row is it appropriate to wear the same pair of pants or jeans?
28, 35, 42. If you don't split them up. I mean, I will wear, as long as they don't get them, noticeably dirty, I will wear the same pair of jeans every day forever.
Pants can go a while. I generally say 3, but you got to give them a sniff after 2. Because sometimes they can get a little ripe.
Okay, pants are slacks kind of different.
Dress pants, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, if I wore...
So it's a little different because of our jobs, but say you were in a regular office. You're one of the salespeople.
Yeah, if I were those animals, I'd wash every day.
You definitely need to smell... Yeah,
one day.
Smell the seat on those every few days.
I would not be smelling any of their clothes.
No, seriously, can you imagine some of those? Holy crap. Seriously, wow.
So I shouldn't go 28 days with the jeans?
I mean, I'm of the belief you're not supposed to wash jeans at all.
Right.
Unless you get pasta sauce.
You short yourself.
Yeah. And, you're not supposed to wash jeans because they get too tight and they really stick to you.
Well, what you can do, too, is if you wear them a lot, just hang them over a railing on your porch or something.
Air dry them?
Air them out?
Yeah, just give them a little air.
Air out the old crotchola?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that area can get a little...
Yeah, I say keep going until they get gross. Question number 2. With Easter right around the corner comes countless idiots trying to convince themselves that ham is an appropriate centerpiece of family dining. So that said, in your opinion, what's the worst holiday food out there?
Count me as one of your idiots. I love a Christmas ham or an Easter ham. I love it, love it, love it. It's actually a co-feature at Thanksgiving as well. I love it so much.
You do the turkey and the ham.
Yeah, ham with the little au jus and some wild rice. In. There's no convincing necessary. That is one delicious meal served room temperature with the whole thing. It's the best.
It stinks.
The best.
So you say...
So what's the worst then? So if you like a ham, give me a bad holiday food.
Salmon.
Who's putting out salmon on a holiday?
Someone who sucks.
Okay.
Because they don't know what to do. I mean, I'm not a picky eater, so I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
salmon, you're sort of like, you're asking to, again, that's sort of a shrinkage.
When you say holiday food, can you include dessert?
Sure.
Pecan pie.
Yeah, pecan pie's not great.
See you later. I'm out on the pecan pie. I'll even allow for pumpkin pie. I'm not a huge pumpkin pie guy, but at least it's a little different. It's got a moussey-like consistency to it.
The crust is solid.
So, yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, fine. Pecan pie, it's not awful, but way overrated.
I have an uptight buddy who believes it's disgusting to fart when someone is standing.
How come you don't answer the questions?
Because I already am.
Oh,
I
all
said
right.
he's facilitating.
Sorry, I got you.
I have an uptight buddy who believes it's disgusting to fart when someone's standing right next to you at the urinal taking a leak. But I don't have a problem with this. It's the same as farting behind the stall or someone farting in the bathroom. It doesn't matter. You're still going to smell the fart. How about you? Do you think it's inappropriate to fart next to someone taking a leak next to you at a urinal?
Inappropriate isn't the word. I'm not going to say anything, but I will say I try not to fart in front of people. Whether it's at the urinal, at the stall, at wherever, if it happens, it happens, but I try not to.
I mean, I wouldn't do it in church, if that's what you're asking.
I try not to.
But I would say in a bathroom, allowable.
I'm sitting at the urinal, some stranger next to me comes next to me and just rips one. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, but listen, sometimes you can't avoid it. It's all kind of connected down there.
Listen, I'm a forgiving guy. I'm just saying if it can be avoided, I don't do it anywhere.
I mean, once you take the cork out of the bottle, the air comes out too.
Anything goes in the bathroom.
That's right.
It's farting time.
It's sort of how I feel.
Next, I have a long-standing theory that allowing your significant other to witness you eating chicken wings a huge step in a relationship. It's got to be the worst of all the meals I think you can eat, exaggerating how disgusting you can be. You look like an ape. So my question is, are there other milestones you believe that aren't as obvious as first kiss, first sex, the first I love you? What do you think they are? Because I think this is a serious one. If you can get with someone and they can watch you eat wings, the whole deal. Sauce all over you, blue cheese dipping, the gristle all over you, and they can deal with you with that, that's a big step.
I think that's a good one. I mean, I know this is a cliche or whatever, but I do think meeting the parents is kind of a line of demarcation. That means that's just something. There's one thing, don't tell me, you poop in front of your wife?
No, God, no.
God, no, right?
What do you mean, like while she's standing in there?
Yes.
No!
I've known people that do. They poop in front of each other like that.
Yeah, you know what? My dad, I think, did that, because at the time we had the one bathroom.
It's just
one might be in the shower and vice versa. I think they crapped in front of each other now that I think about that.
A line of demarcation
I would never do that.
Can't ever cross.
So I would say farting, burping, and stinking up the joint, like stinking up the john. Like you could that I'd say is sort of a line of demarcation. But you remind me of a funny story. I know a guy once who his friends gave him keys to the house while they were away, and he went in there and took a bath in their bathtub. Don't you think that's weird?
Little.
Yeah, I do too.
That's a good bit, though.
He took a picture and sent it to him. Yeah.
So did you have an answer for this, Mazz?
Yeah, I said farting and burping.
Or stinking up the joint.
Okay.
I mean, the first time you let one fly.
But listen, and I try not to. You don't like willfully toot in front of your wife.
No, I try not to.
But you don't poop in front of me either. But leaving a big mess in there is
left you a log.
Yeah.
Love you.
I don't know if you want to leave it. I didn't go that far.
I meant just the odor. I meant you just you leave a trail. Go ahead.
Finally, which musical act, dead, if resurrected from the grave in their primes, all original members would fetch the most money if they came back and went on tour today?
This is obvious. I'll give you a top three. The top two are obvious, and I've got 1 over 2 for obvious reasons. Number 1 is Elvis Presley.
Oh, good one.
Number 2 is the Beatles. Okay, and number 3 is the Grateful Dead. Sorry. They with a massive touring act. Garcia died 30 years ago, and they're still just about the biggest touring act out there with fill-ins.
Globally.
If he came back, did you say globally?
I mean globally. I should have put that in there.
Okay, so I didn't hear globally. I'm talking domestically. And I put Elvis ahead of the Beatles because Americans are stupid and have no taste. It should be the Beatles, but I think for the broader scope, there are more people, let's say in the South or, the whole country that would go see Elvis before they would go see the Beatles. Elvis is the answer.
I whiffed on Elvis. For some reason, I was thinking bands or groups. So I had the Beatles first. I think you did this for me, Murray. This question, Led Zeppelin, I would have as second.
It's a good one.
Okay, and third, I actually just kind of went off the board a little bit, and I put the Jackson 5.
Okay, so we're all kind of in the
Michael Jackson's a good one, Mazz.
My first, or same as yours, Elvis, Beatles, and Michael Jackson was my third, if you had to do a top three. But Jackson 5, I'd prefer to see the Jackson 5 than Michael Jackson. I think Jackson 5 had better songs than single Michael Jackson.
But some combination of those three.
Well, what would sell better as a touring act?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson solo.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson Thriller tour. You know what? That would crush. Michael Jackson's a good one.
All right, so concludes 5 questions. Again, still looking for a sponsorship.
Hour to go. We've talked about a lot. I mean, like a lot. Like the origins of life and all this with the astrology and numerology, thanks to Jaylen Brown and his management style. The injury of Cade Cunningham, is it already all coming up, Celtics? Cade Cunningham with a collapsed lung of all things is on the board. We started to do some Red Sox as well as Red Sox a week from opening day is on the board. Duos was Mazz's Tears. Your calls on all of it. I promise right to it after Murray's 90-second update. No commercials.